Joe Biden proved today he is fully willing to ignore the Constitution in his effort, of course, to disarm all of you. Much of what Joe Biden laid out today pertaining to his war on guns and gun ownership is simply all for show, in my opinion. It is meant to appease his anti-freedom base to make it appear he is taking action, when in reality his proposals will do nothing off the bat here. It'll do nothing to stop crime or do anything to make communities safer either.
Nothing I'm about to recommend in any way impinges on the Second Amendment. They're phony arguments suggesting that these are Second Amendment rights at stake from what we're talking about.
Oh, make no mistake, our rights are at stake. He's the phony here, okay? I'm not even sure any of what he announced today amounts to an actual order. He offered up proposals, giving the Department of Justice 60 days to come up with rules designed to infringe on your rights to keep and bear arms. He talked about red flag laws, the ability for a court to order your guns removed from your home with no due process. And that's the big problem with all of this, with no ability to argue your case before a judge. So a scorned spouse, an angry neighbor, anyone wanting to get back at someone could fool a court into seizing your firearms without any of your input, okay? That is un-American. And like a typical liberal looking to exploit tragedy, Joe Biden goes after pistol shoulder braces, like the one used by the shooter in that Boulder grocery store last month.
A stabilizing brace shook in a pencil essentially makes that pistol a hell of a lot more accurate and a mini rifle. As a result, it's more lethal, effectively turning it into a short-barreled rifle.
Look, that one statement proves Joe Biden and the anti-freedom goons writing his orders and his speeches have no idea what they're talking about. First off, a short-barreled rifle, as he calls it, may be more accurate than a pistol, that's true, but it's still far less accurate than a long-barreled rifle, like the wildly popular AR-15 that he wants to outlaw. The shorter the barrel, the harder it is to aim at longer distances. But even the term more or less lethal, when it comes to any style AR-15, is silly. They are all equally dangerous. But he spews nonsense like this to sensationalize the need for more gun control.
Want to rein in the proliferation of so-called ghost guns. These are guns that are homemade, built from a kit, that include directions on how to finish the firearm. You can go buy the kit.
All right, more sensationalism. He wants to go after, as what he calls, ghost guns. All right, firearms built from kits that do not have a serial number. Now, folks, I tried to find reports of ghost guns being used in crimes across America. After scouring police reports, news articles, even court cases, I could not find one instance of a so-called ghost gun being used to commit a crime. They may be out there. I just couldn't find one. You know why? Because they're difficult to put together. In most cases, they still need to be machined, okay? The time, money, and effort it takes to build a ghost gun is well beyond the capability of some street thug. Again, he didn't actually do anything, Joe Biden, but ask for a rule to regulate these firearms, which I'm sure they will come up with, and that means we fight back when they do, which means everything Joe Biden offered up today is for show. He wants proposed rules, models for legislations for states to enact, but he didn't really take any direct action with any teeth, only sharpening the teeth of the regulatory agencies. That can hurt, by the way, but we'll fight that then. Today, not much happened. The proposed rules are what we need to be prepared to fight back against. That is true. The most consequential anti-gun move Joe Biden made today is when he offered up a longtime anti-gunner to lead the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, the ATF, an enforcement agency with actually a decent history of working with the firearms industry. The ATF, Joe, ATF.
Today, I'm proud to nominate David Chipman to serve as the director of the AFT. David knows the AFT well. He served there for 25 years.
The American Federation of Teachers? No, Joe. ATF, not AFT, okay? The man who claims to be the champion of gun control can't even get the ATF straight. Now, as funny as that is, and sadly it is funny, the humor is quickly lost because the man about to lead the ATF, okay, hates the Second Amendment. He hates guns, and more importantly, he despises lawful gun owners, just like his boss and the people who pull Joe Biden's strings.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, we're real news for real people.